Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD StarCraft, and I'm here to bring you guys, of course, another StarCraft 2 broadcast to brighten your day, your night, your afternoon, whatever time it may be for you guys. I hope you guys are excited for another Wings of Liberty cast. And a couple of announcements I just wanted to make. If you guys are anywhere on the East Coast right now of the United States, please do take care of yourself and your loved ones, because from what I hear all the way out here on the West Coast, there is a nasty hurricane by the name of Sandy, and she is looking to come and take you away. So please don't get snatched up by a hurricane. Please don't lose your stuff. And I just wanted to say, my thoughts and prayers obviously out to any of you guys out there on the East Coast. Buckle down, hang tight, and hopefully the worst will come to pass. Out here on the West Coast, guys, it's not like it's all always sunny and shiny and great. I mean, it is usually sunny and shiny, but we've got earthquakes to deal with, man. So it's it's a trade-off. You want to live out here, then you got to deal with earthquakes. You live out there, you got to deal with tornadoes and hurricanes. So anyways, if you guys may or may not notice here, I finally decided to get a new microphone, and you guys might be able to tell the difference in the quality of my voice. Yes, this is actually how I sound. I know I don't sound Asian at all. I don't know why my voice is the way it is, but this is me on a brand new microphone, and before this I was using a headset mic, so it wasn't always the best quality. So, just making investments here to make sure that my casts are always on par, or at least, top notch as far as I can get it to be. And let's just go ahead and introduce the players here, man. This is from the Rit Mix Russian RSL tournament. And down in the bottom left-hand corner, the red Zerg player. I'm very excited here to be casting a game of him. Haven't done one for a while. It is Team SCV Life's Symbol. And in 2012, he recently, he finally moved away from doing all the GSTL and finally moved into more full-time GSL. So that's obviously the highest level of solo play you can do in Korea. And he's actually been doing pretty well. I think he got knocked out at the round of 16 or the round of 32, but he had some crazy groups. Regardless, though, Symbol has been a powerhouse Zerg player for quite some time. So, guys, really looking forward to seeing how he plays against the green Terran player. And he is all the way over here at the top right-hand corner. His name is Strelok. And you guys might recall he won the HD World Tournament, a tournament that I ran about maybe a year or so ago. And Strelok, kind of more known outside of Korea, hasn't really won any major first-place events in a while. So if you guys ask me to obviously put my money down here, I think the overwhelming favorite, if Las Vegas put out betting odds for StarCraft 2, they probably put a negative, I don't know how you could do negative lines in StarCraft 2. Maybe it could be associated with minerals, so maybe like negative 3,000 minerals to the Zerg player Symbol, meaning that if he wins with 3,000 minerals or more in his bank, then I guess the Vegas bettors, that would be the line that you would take. Forgive me, guys, I am sometimes a compulsive gambler, so I do maybe know a little bit too much about losing money. Speaking about all that good stuff, I don't know if you guys have been watching the World Series, but the Giants did win. I just wanted to rub it in right there because, of course, I am from San Francisco, so I thought I'd just go ahead and make that comment. Obviously, if you guys are from Detroit, then sorry. Maybe the Lions will beat us in the playoffs or something. Anyways, let's just go ahead and get into this game here. What is Strelok going to be doing? He's got a barracks and he's got a factory, so obviously this is not Heart of the Swarm, so we're not going to see Widow Mines, nor are we going to see Hellbats, but probably, going to see Hellions. And looks like the factory is going to take the place of that reactor core. Over on the other side of the map here, it looks like Symbol's got another hatchery coming up. So, pretty common opening here. This is what you'd expect a Zerg to do, especially on a big map like Daybreak. You don't want to fall behind as in hatcheries as Zerg, and Zerg is their greatest strength has always been the late game. That is where they shine most, so you want to try to get into the late game as Zerg, especially against Terran nowadays, because Terrans still don't really have an answer for combating against Broodlord and Fester, and that seems to be the predominant composition of choice. So Looks like we do have a starport with Tech Lab, and did Symbol see that with his Overlord? He did not. He did see the Tech Lab on the barracks as it was floating away, but that was all he really saw. So for now, he doesn't really know that there are Banshees on the way. And he doesn't know either that obviously he'll probably need to get some type of anti-air defense here. I would say just Queens by themselves, though, might be okay. He does have very good Overlord placement around the edges of the map, and this is obviously to pick off Medivacs and Banshees because they all use the same, really the same airspace. You know, you never want to send an expensive air-based unit just into the middle of the map against Zerg. It's not a very good idea usually against any race. So we can see now that Banshee is making its way down to the bottom right. And Strelok is going to be going for that command center. Banshee's like, there's only enough room up here for one of us. Command center goes ahead and land down. And what is Symbol going to be doing here, man? He's got the minus 3,000 Las Vegas betting odds here. And is he going for... Alright, so he's got a Baneling nest here. Looks like we're probably going to see Zergling Baneling Infestor or Zergling Baneling Mutalisk. Depending on where he wants to go after the lair. It's really up to him. It's his call. Banshee is actually going to cut through this little section right here. Obviously right now there isn't that much anti-air units for Zerg, so it's okay. But Symbol is going to see that with the Speedlings. That Banshee thought he was safe because he was flying over a restricted area, but nope, not for Zerglings. They don't care about rules and regulations. And let's see where Symbol's going to go. Just going to try to tag the tower as a couple of Banshees are going to make their way into the main base here. And now that's two Banshees. They can take out drones in one shot apiece. I'm surprised he's going for the extractor, but then he doesn't really have a choice because there is a Spore Crawler there now. Doing a good job of so far not losing the Banshees. Obviously, one Queen will not be able to kill that off in a short amount of time, but we do have some Hellions running in here. Wow, how many drones did those Hellions get? About 8 drone kills. Not too bad, actually. So he gets in there and picks off about 8 drones. That obviously is going to pay off, and the opening so far from Strelok has been effective against Symbol. It's been a Hellion-based ground attack supported with air-based Banshee play, and now the Viking is going to come and clear out the Overlords inside the airspace lane. So this is very wise. This is what you want to do as Terran as often as you can. It's a very cheap to produce Viking, and yet you're going to get so many Overlord kills. It's quite worth it. And now it looks like the Overseer is going to run inside and find out what exactly is going on. It sees 2 factories, it sees a starport, double armory. So for sure here, we're going to have a mech follow-up from Strelok. His transitionary into the late game is going to be mech-based play. So at this point, you, as a Zerg player, you really don't want to make a lot of Banelings. In fact, you don't want to make Banelings at all. Spire, you still want because you want to get Broodlords. And if you want to try Mutas against mech, it can work, but it's kind of a flimsy unit. Thors are still pretty good against them. It's the bottom line. So I think Symbol will probably try to get a Roach Horn. Yeah, he's already got a Roach Horn, and he's making 9 roaches. Has several upgrades coming. Carapace, melee, Roach speed. He'll probably want to get missile. Yeah, he's got missile, and he's getting Ventral Sack. So possibly gonna see some drop play from him, and that's not a bad idea at all. You've got to remember against mech, it's highly immobile. If you can just float a couple of Overlords in here and drop down a doomsday army of roaches, it's very hard for Terran to stop that, and you can pick off all the factories. So we'll see if that is what Symbol is going to go for or not. Viking just kind of patrolling the airspace right now. A couple more command centers coming up from Strelok, so he's really kicking it into high gear here. And Minion Nod has left the game, so it sucks for you, but you will not be able to watch. Right now Symbol needs to get, I think, more roaches on the field, but also wants to get the hive out for Greater Spire, Broodlord Infestor. And he just now started the Infestation Pit, so I think that's a little bit late. But, it's Symbol. I think he'll be alright. One more Viking still patrolling the skies here, has 3 Overlord kills to himself, is going to tack on another Overlord under his belt. And that Viking is definitely going to get it. You know, the Vikings right now about to get... Oh no, they don't have ship weapons yet. But they'll probably get it pretty soon once Strelok sees that. You know, he's playing against a Zerg player. You need to get ship weapons to deal with Brute Lord and Corruptor. And look at this. I think we're going to see the drop from Symbol. So here we go. This is going to be the first big play of this game. This is going to be the critical point. And, you know, if you can get in here as a Zerg and do a lot of damage and the Terran is out of position, if you can pick off the factories or just force the Terran into a bad spot, it can work really well. But Strelok's got a wall of missile turrets here. Symbol for a second there was like, well, I don't know if I should go in. Then he says, screw it, I'm going in. Button down the hatches and hold on to your seatbelts. Will Symbol be able to do any serious damage here? I don't know. Strelok has gotten his tanks back up on the high ground. And really, the Roaches have... all they've done is clear out a lot of missile turrets. Now, they're going to go for some SCV kills. And they will get a few. But this is a lot of Roaches to lose. I think he should pull the Roaches out, but he can't bring the Overlord back because there's so many Thors here. So these Roaches now can just go for SCV kills. Looks like they're going to get cornered by the armories. So that was the end of that attack. And honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you just bet on my Vegas line, then you might just become rich, assuming, of course, you bet on the Terran player Strelok. Unbelievable. So he might actually, you know, well, I'm not going to say he's going to win the game, but I am going to say that he has taken a significant edge here. This is huge. Look at the supply differential. Oh, well, for a second there was a big supply difference, but that just changed in a jiffy because we have 40 Zerglings, 22 Roaches, 4 Infestors on the way. But I think that Symbol probably would have been happier off if he didn't lose all those Roaches. Obviously, losing all of your Roaches is pretty depressing there. And you need Roaches. This is one of those weird matchups. When the Terran does go mech, you actually don't want to throw away your Roaches because they are a very good late game unit against Terran. But then again, Strelok has a lot of siege tanks. So in order for the Roaches to be extra effective, he's going to have to drop quite a bit. And, you know, he's got drop researched, and here we go, man. These Overlords are going in. Strelok is too slow to get out of here. He's sieged up all of his tanks. And look at the well, not Cracklings, but Zerglings and Roaches dropping down. Symbol could just get back right into this game if he takes out all of these units. And Strelok with 2-2. But he is no match for the power of the drop. Or maybe he is. Thors are actually pretty strong. And those 2 Thors are out of there. Thor is out of here, but Symbol says, no, 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 just wait, hold on, I just want to make friends. And Strelok is going to lose these 2 Thors, so that was a great play by TSL.Symbol. And now if you look at the supplies, it's looking much more balanced for a Zerg versus Terran, of course. And if you look at the base count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against a 1, 2, 3, 4 base Terran, about to be a 5 base Terran. Actually, it is a 5 base Terran. So Strelok does still have a good edge on bases. You obviously, as if you're even, that's a good thing. But Symbol is looking to get another one. I don't know. This is too close to call right now. We do have Corvid Reactor on the way, along with 3-3 from the Terran armories. So, you know, really dedicated to the mech, which is what you want to do. You don't want to really switch up as Terran. You don't have the option. Like, Protoss can switch. Zerg can definitely switch. Terran is very hard to switch. Once you go down a tech path, you're pretty much stuck with it. Look at the drones. So we have 102 drones. It's almost like these Hellions are going to be doing the Zerg player a favor here. So Strelok will kill off a couple. We have a couple more Hellions coming into the middle of the map, but the Zerg presence here is all too fearsome. There's no way that a couple of Hellions, I don't care if they have Blue Flame or not, they are not going to be able to do anything against the Zerg player right now. He will need the full backup of his Terran military here. And now it comes to the point in the game of Daybreak where these expansions in the restricted area become very important. You don't want to let your opponent hold on to these, and you know, they're right in the middle of the map. So having control over those expansions not only gives you the monetary benefit, but it also gives you the ability to have a staging platform, a launching point to attack or defend. So this has essentially become like a critical, long, drawn-out game of chess here. And especially as Zerg with Broodlord Infestor, it's slow, it's immobile, you have to micro very effectively in order to make it work. And same with Terran, if not more. Siege tanks and Thors, they're pretty damn slow. I'm not even counting the siege mode too, that takes forever. So, yeah, you really need to position your units wisely here. And Strelok realizing, okay, you've got the base down here, Symbol. I'm not going to attack into it. There's too many Broodlords. I'm just going to go take the base up here instead. And now what are you going to do about that? So all the bases at this point are taken. And this becomes a very interesting situation. Symbol, I don't know if he's... you know, he's got a lot of Corruptors, a lot of Broodlords. You'll note he's made a lot of Corruptors because there's so many Vikings here. In conjunction with fungal growth, that could be a deadly way to kill off these Vikings. And here we go, man. One fungal comes down, not getting all the Vikings. And of course, fungal not that effective against swords, but we do have the infestors coming in. Great fungal growth. Now the PDDs have dropped down. That keeps the Corruptors from taking out the Vikings. And look at how many Corruptors are here, though. So the PDDs running out of energy all too quickly. And it looks like Symbol is going to be able to take out these siege tanks. Symbol is starting to look very dominant in this game. And remember, it's all about positioning here. And, you know, this battle occurring over the Terran's base. Just to add insult to injury, we're going to corruptimaminate. Oh, did I just say that? We are going to contaminate the planetary fortress there. So corrupticaminate. Oh my god. So, yeah, Strelok loses a base, and now he's got the problem to deal with two Zerg bases in the neutral areas. If, of course, Symbol wants to claim that, which it looks like he will. Now, it doesn't look like Strelok isn't going to give up. He's got a new air fleet of Vikings here, just coming right out of the military Air Force base to the north where the starport reactor is. And, you know, if he can just get up his Viking fleet, get ship weapons upgraded, which it looks like he's starting to work on right now, he can make a stand against Corruptors, but he will also, I think, need Ghosts. Ghosts are just so good against Infestors. He's actually going to funnel his gas into Seeker Missile instead. And, you know, Seeker Missile isn't bad. You could actually use that against Broodlord Corruptor, because all the air units love to clump up in StarCraft 2. And here we go, man. Symbol is going to try to take down this orbital command. That thing has nowhere to go. It might die. No, too beefy, though. And it will just make it out of there, be able to repair probably from Strelok. I think right now Strelok just trying to buy time for his Ravens and his Seeker Missiles to come out on the field, but you got to remember that the Raven doesn't have enough energy right when it spawns for a Seeker Missile, so it will take him some time. Strelok now is actually going to go attack this hatchery, which is so smart because the Zerg was out of position with all of his Broodlord Infestor at the top, so Strelok says, alright, I'm going to take the hatchery down here now. So if he can kill this off, plus he's doing a good job harassing with these Vikings. Notice how he's staying over the crevice so the Infestors cannot fungal. Brilliant play by Strelok. He gets the hatchery too. Those Vikings just buying in just enough time, and now Strelok says, I want to make this place home. But do you really want to build your home on a foundation of creep? I don't think so. Especially not when there's crawlers there too. Strelok here trying to get the Thors out of harm's way, but look at how many broodlings are here. That Thor is gone. And this this is really going to come down to uber late game massive army versus massive army. Both of them have kind of been skirmishing a little bit, but we haven't seen the final battle yet. That is going to determine a huge, you know, chance, a huge probability of who wins this game. And now look at this, Strelok is going to actually push up here and take out this hatchery as well. So now he's killed off 2 of the Zerg players' hatcheries. Brilliant plays from Strelok. Noticing once again that the Zerg was out of position and the Seeker Missiles going down, hitting, I guess, a few of the Infestors. More Seeker Missiles coming out. It's hard to keep track of where they are. Corruptors now corrupting the Thors, so they'll take a little bit of extra damage. They're still so strong with 4 armor. That's going to take a long time to kill off. Strelok still cannot land his CC due to the lack of foundation. And Symbol comes in, great fungal on the Vikings, but more Vikings are being called out to fight. This is it! This is it, ladies and gentlemen! Will Symbol be able to break through Strelok's Terran Metal Army? It looks like he might have enough Infested Terrans and Broodlings. Too many Zerg units on the ground for the Terran to deal with, and Symbol keeps a majority of his Broodlords alive as well. Look at how close they are to dying. And now Strelok is really on the back foot. I mean, he did kill off 2 of the Zerg players' hatcheries. That is one good thing going for him. So he doesn't have to worry about the constant ability for Symbol to re-macro his army up. In fact, both players pretty much out of money here. Or out of minerals, at least. So we'll see if Strelok can micro his way to victory here. He'll need to use these Vikings better than he's ever used Vikings before. Of course, Vikings have that extra range over any other Zerg unit that any other Zerg air unit, really. And Strelok is putting that to good use right now, but he just cannot get enough kills to really sway, I think, the tide of this game. He needs right now another expansion, that's for sure. And look at the wall of crawl coming in. Symbol has basically just he sent out a global intercom transmission to all the spine crawlers. Note, of course, this is not by, you know, electricity or anything like that. This is by the Zerg psionic network, and all the spine crawlers obeying immediately, coming down here to implant themselves into the next future hatchery, I'm guessing here. And which drone is going to be the lucky one today? Not that one. That guy decided to be a gas miner, and I'm still waiting to see if he's going to get this hatchery or not. I don't know. It looks like he's not going to really make a stand at all for the once 12 o'clock hatchery here, and he's gonna give it up to Strelok. So once again, we have this weird constant, you know, take a hatchery here, lose it, you know, it's like a dichotomy. Which one are you gonna take? And it looks like now Symbol is going to send a majority of his Zerg army up here, but once again Strelok says, oh, you send your Zerg army up there, I might be able to poke over here. But that's where the spine crawlers come in. So Symbol has it all mapped out now in his head. The crawlers giving him at least a chance, a time, in order to hold on to this hatchery while he moves around the map. And it looks like he's got Neural Parasite here. So the Thors have defected to the red Zerg army. And it looks like those 2 Thors are just ripping through everything. Strelok's last remaining Thor is like, why? Friendly fire, same team, and the Neural Parasites. Now the Thors have been relinquished and like, what happened? And so Symbol is going to take a dominating position here, as you know, he killed off a big chunk of Strelok's army. And now, which lucky drone will be the hatchery? Is it going to be this guy? Is it going to be this guy? David the drone be a hatchery. I'm so surprised right now that Symbol is not making another hatchery. I think he's just a mistake in his head right now, because he's out of money everywhere on the map. This is like the last really fully mineable expansion, and you can see he's pretty much out of money. So there we go. All right, so finally we do have a hatchery coming up, but Strelok's not out of it. This is where the Terran ability to mule really shines, because all you need is a few seconds to land an orbital down and drop a huge amount of mules. And if you can just get your income up to a rate that matches, oh, that's way more than matching. That's 2,500 over 900. So yeah, I don't think Strelok is by any means out of this game yet. The only thing is, I feel like he's got a lot of Vikings, but then again, he's not really fighting any real threat from the ground, so it's not a terrible composition. But what about Infested Terrans, man? We'll see what happens here. It looks like Symbol's coming in with the huge Zerg air army. The Raven gets the Seeker missile off. Oh my god. It lands on the Infestors, only killing 1 though. Not enough splash to really affect the ones on the outside. And now the Broodlings are starting to work down these SCVs. Strelok is going to need some more Seeker missiles, I think, but he just can't get in position. He's going to have to evacuate here. And this orbital command is now in the skies. There isn't really that many corruptors, so it's not in danger of dying to air. This is very interesting. Symbol just, he needs to send all of his workers down here just to start mining. Note the, Seeker missile coming out once again. Note the harvesters right now, 51 to 28, but the Terran really doesn't need more than 25 workers at this point. He just needs enough to mine out of one base, and it looks like, oh, he's gonna lose this orbital command. It's on fire! He's gonna try to repair it. He's sending everything in. There are a lot of queens here, though, and with the queens here, I don't know if Strelok's got enough to bust through. The queens could transfuse all day long, and they're not bad fighters at all. Look at the fungal growth coming down at the same time, and the infested Terrans coming out of the eggs. The orbital command once again just forced to fly away, and it looks like Symbol is going to be able to break through this expansion. And that is astronomical. Strelok calls GG. Incredible. So that a victory for Symbol right there. So let's see here. You guys would have won your money because Symbol only had 2,000 minerals. So I guess obviously when I say minus 3,000 on the betting line, that means he had to have 3,000 or more for you to get your money, which means I'm rich now. Just kidding, guys. All right, guys, stay safe out there, especially on the East Coast. I'll see you in the next cast, and this is HD signing out.